Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you're watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this solely to take your decision. Your one like will motivate me to be regular and working more hard for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of gold futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a weekly chart of gold futures. So here you can see that how the gold futures have been constantly facing resistance after testing a lifetime high at the $2120 during the month of August 2020, and since then we have seen the gold futures to remain under heavy selling pressure when the gold futures finally tested a low at the levels of $1677 during the month of March 2021, and once again tried to move upward but faced stiff resistance at the levels of $1755, and once again moved downward and tested this level once again. And here you can see that how the gold futures formed a sharp reversal in a weekly chart. You can see that this reversal was very strong in March 2021, which kept this uptrend in gold futures well up to the levels of $1919. So friends, here you can see that how this bullish candle got confirmation with the formation here, and after that the gold futures started an uptrend from the levels of $1729 during the month of April 2021 and tested an high at the levels of $1914 during the month of May 2021. But here you can see that how the gold futures have been facing stiff resistance at the levels of 1919, where the gold futures could not sustain above the levels of 1919 and found a steep downward move, whereas this bearish move confirmed the continuity of bearish sentiments in gold futures, because here you can see that how the gold futures tested the upper end of Ichimoku cloud during the month of May 2021, but since then we have seen a sharp fall in gold futures during the second week of June 2021. And here you can see that once again the gold futures tried to reach the immediate resistance at the lower end of Ichimoku cloud but could not, and finally the gold futures tested a low at the levels of $1752. But here you can see that how the formation of this bullish candle during the last week has confirmed the continuity of some bullish moves in gold futures. But here I find that in a weekly time frame, an immediate resistance is at the levels of 1833, whereas I find that the formation of a bearish crossover here confirms the gold could remain under heavy bearish pressure during the upcoming weeks, because here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above the lower end of Ichimoku cloud during the upper week, so friends, here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold inside the Ichimoku cloud, we will see the gold futures to move more downward, where I find that if the gold futures find a breakdown below the levels of the 1767, we'll see the gold futures to move more downward, and in this downward move the gold futures once again could test the lows of March 2021, which is at the levels of the 1677. So friends, here I find that it will be very important for gold futures to decide further moves on the first trading session of the upcoming week, where the opening levels will be very decisive, because here I find that if the gold futures start the upcoming week with a gap down opening, we'll see this exhaustion to continue, where the gold futures will have to defend the lower end of Ichimoku cloud. But here I find that a breakdown below the levels of the 1791 could push the gold futures to test new lows, where the next support will be at the levels of the 1762, and the third support will be at the levels of the 1747. So friends, here I find that during the upcoming week the gold futures could test these levels, but on the other side I find that if the gold futures start the upcoming week with a gap up opening above the levels of the 1812, we'll see the gold could reach the immediate resistance at the 1819, and I find that if the gold futures find a sustainable move well above the 9 days moving average in a weekly time frame, which is currently at the levels of the 1834, then only the gold futures could retest the upper end of Ichimoku cloud during the upcoming weeks, which is currently at the $1919. And friends, here I find that a breakout above this level could turn the whole scenario, but here I find that the gold could trade in a range mode manner during the upcoming weeks. Here I would like to tell you that on July 28th we are going to have Federal Reserve interest rate decision. So this could be a very decisive move for precious metal. So here I find that up to July 28th, the gold futures could remain in a narrow range from the levels of $1749 to $1862, because here I find that any breakout out of this range could be very decisive. Till July 28th, the gold futures could try to defend the immediate support at the levels of $1752, from where we could find some bounce backs once again in gold futures. But on the upper side, the level of $1838 could provide a stiff resistance to gold futures. So friends, now let us check this move in a daily time frame. So here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the gold futures have seen a steep fall on June 11, and since then we have seen the gold futures to see a steep fall up to the lower end of Ichimoku cloud, where the gold futures tested a low at the levels of $1762 on June 18th. But since then the gold futures were facing stiff resistance at the levels of $1796, and finally the gold futures found a steep reversal from the levels of $1752 on June 30th. Here you can see that how the gold futures showed a good strength and finally beat this immediate resistance at $1796. So here you can see that how the gold futures once again have been facing second resistance at the levels of $1818 since July 6, where every upward move has found a sharp sell-off from here, but here some reversal was seen on last Friday from the lower end of Ichimoku cloud, which has extended the hopes for gold bulls. But here I find that the second resistance could be the 26 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of 1828. So friends, here I find that only sustainable move of gold futures above the 26 days moving average could result in a sharp upward move, where the gold futures could try to breach the upper end of Ichimoku cloud, which is currently at the levels of 1865. And here I find that if the gold futures sustain above the upper end of Ichimoku cloud in a daily time frame, then only we can expect the gold futures to test this toughest resistance. Friends, here I find that the most significant resistance for gold futures will be from the levels of $1906 to $1913. So this zone seems to be the resistance zone for gold futures. In case of a steep upward move, the gold futures could find heavy sell-off from these levels. So friends, here I find that here you can see that how the gold futures found heavy sell-off from the levels of $1906 on June 11, and here this selling spree continued in gold, where the gold futures tested a low at the levels of $1758 on June 18. So here I find that once again the gold futures could try to breach the immediate resistance at the levels of $1828, where the 26 days moving average will provide stiff resistance for gold futures. But here I find that if the gold futures are not able to sustain above the 26 days moving average, we will see the bearish sentiments could grow in gold futures, where the gold futures could remain under heavy selling pressure. And here I find that a breakdown below the lower end of Ichimoku cloud in the daily time frame will push the gold futures to remain under heavy selling pressure, where the next support can be seen at the levels of 1751 during the upcoming week. But here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold the levels of 1751, we will see this downward trend to continue in gold futures, where the gold futures could test the levels of the 1677 during the upcoming weeks. So friends, here the need of the hour is to remain very cautious, because here the gold futures look ready to take a decisive move during the upcoming week, where the gold futures could try to sustain above the immediate resistance at $1818. But here I find that if the gold futures are not able to cross this immediate resistance channel from the levels of $1818 to $1834, we'll see sharp sell off to continue in gold futures. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.